All right, everybody. So we're asking about when should we taper off our strength conditioning before our fight, right? And more important than that, we don't want to think about our strength conditioning separately. We want to think about every single thing we're doing fight week and how that affects making weight, how that affects performing on fight night. Generally speaking, coming into fight week, we're a little beat up. We've been pushing, right? So there's a lot of wear and tear on our body. We've been going body on body, getting a lot of, grindy grappling in. We've been pushing really hard, deep into that lactic acid threshold when we're lifting, when we're running, when we're working out, when we're hitting pads. And, we've got some accumulated stress from all that. So we got to try to relieve all that as much as possible. You can do almost anything for your workouts. So you don't need to think about strength conditioning or hitting pads or grappling or doing game plan type stuff. It's all one workout, right? So generally, what do I like to do fight week? I like earlier in the day to do a slightly longer session that kind of focuses more on that, zone 2 cardio. And what people are saying when they say zone 2 cardio is any longer duration activity where your heart rate is elevated, but you can still maintain a conversational pace. So that could be like jogging. That could be just riding on the stationary bike, chilling out. That could be grappling, drilling. That could be hitting pads, but not like super intense hitting pads. So we want to do a longer session typically that's like 60 to 90 minutes where we're just kind of moving around, getting our body going. We especially want to do that session as we're trying to lose weight because we need, that extra fat burning to go on. If we are going to lift, which is fine, like think about what makes your body feel good. Typically, athletes perform really well when they've done some explosive preparatory movements throughout the week. You want to keep that body functioning. Like you've gotten used to working out a ton, we got to use your body. So what does that look like? That means we're not coming in and doing 3 sets of 10. We're not grinding. We're getting weights that are lighter. We're doing less reps, but we're moving everything fast. We're getting our body really primed and feeling fast and explosive. So if you want to get dorky about the workout science, we want a little bit less eccentric motion and we want more concentric motion, the explosive part of the workout. So like if you think about a squat, we drop down, like you go down, that's the eccentric, you come up, that's the concentric. Bench, you go down, eccentric, up, concentric. So however you can get rid of the eccentric part of things is going to help a ton. All right. So that's a big thing of what we're doing. So workouts could look like instead of 3 sets of 10 or 5 sets of 5, we're just going to do like 4 sets of 2 on bench with a lighter weight that we can really move. You know what I mean? We're going to do, explosive movements like, broad jumps or just like plyo jumps up boxes. So jumping up the box and then stepping down, jumping up and stepping down. So that's the way we want to do it, is key it so that our nervous system is primed, but we're not fatiguing our body because we want to show up to fight night super fresh. Our nighttime session, what I like to do ideally is start that as close to when we're going to fight as possible, mimic some of the patterns we're going to use in the warm-up. So not only are we getting our body loose, but we're teaching our body all week that we're going to get started right at this time. So if this is like, the higher level we are, the more resources we have. If you're fighting at 10 p.m. and the coach that's going to be holding pads, warming you up, can meet at 10 p.m., great. If that coach is only available at 7 p.m., then do it at 7. That's fine. We'll make it work. You know what I mean? Like especially for amateurs, we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to just go fight and show up and do our best. So your evening workout, you'll go through kind of whatever stuff you're going to do backstage. If you have a stretching routine you like, do that stretching routine. If there's going to be some pummeling involved, right? If you're warming up with me, we're going to pummel. We're going to do the squeezes from the over-under, from the double-under. We're going to shuck to the back and lift. We're going to pick up single legs, anything that gets you firing fast. And then same thing, working patterns on the bag. The only addition to all of this is that we are going to make sure all week long we're seeing that game plan over and over and over. We're visualizing that walkout, we're visualizing being in the cage, we're visualizing that kind of awkward time where we're in the cage before the ref tells us to fight, and then we're visualizing the fight and all the different scenarios that we might have to go through. You know what I mean? We're seeing if things go easy and the takedowns are flowing. We're seeing if it's easy and the guy can't take us down and we're just lighting him up. But we're also seeing those scenarios where it's difficult and we still work through and find our win. So we just want to be priming ourselves physically and mentally. So my short version is, when do we taper off S&C? Everything should be the same until fight week. On fight week, we minimize it. If you go to the weightlifting gym, we're still going to be doing some shadow boxing. We might be jogging, right? But everything should be feeling kind of fight specific. And that means we're going to be doing sets of 2, more concentric, more explosive exercises that are letting our body really perform at its best. And then all of our fight related stuff, we're doing the same. The only other thing I'll say for me personally is you don't need to like put sweats and all that kind of stuff on fight week to lose weight, but you'll see me wear a lot more stuff because I'll put on like neoprene knee sleeves and maybe even elbow pads and wrestling shoes, just because whenever it's fight week, I feel like I just like clash knees with people and then I get all pissed off because I'm already hungry because I'm cutting weight. So I avoid all that. I'm gonna cut the video. That's 7 minutes of ideas for fight week, but the big picture is reduce volume, reduce fatigue, still be really explosive, keep touching that gas tank, and constantly visualizing and working the fight related scenarios that you want to use on fight night. And then we get there fight night, we get to do our thing.